So welcome to my kitchen. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome to Cooking Today. It's hot out there, isn't it? We have just actually gotten back from vacation not very long ago. We went to the beach, and while we were there, one of my favorite things to do when we're actually on vacation is to cook. Isn't that funny? A lot of people like to go on vacation and not cook, but I really love it. I love to get down there and I love to cook with their fresh seafood and that good fresh fish that is right there swimming in that water right there. I just love it. And I love all their fresh fruit. Delicious, delicious. So while we were down on the beach, I could not wait to make delicious grilled tuna steaks. And sure enough, we ran to this little fish market right around the corner from where we were staying, and they had these really pretty yellowfin tuna steaks that we cooked while we were down there. Our little house had a grill. They were so good, y'all, and I just thought it would be really fun to do those with you today. All of us liked it, and you know what that's like at your house when you've got a family of 5 and not everybody loves to eat the same thing, and so you might make tuna for 4 and then you're going to have to short order for the other one that didn't like it. Well, this one was a hit all the way around, and so I cannot wait to show you how I make these. We are going to start with a little marinade. Now this tuna is hearty. I've got some yellowfin tuna that I actually got at my Harps grocery store. And I am aware that not all Harp stores have the big fresh counter with the fresh seafood. We are lucky to kind of have the flagship store right here in Springdale, just a few minutes from my house. So I, get to benefit from this beautiful counter with all this good fish and seafood and beautiful meats. If you do not have a way to get fresh tuna, at your little market counter, then you can absolutely buy it frozen. Most of the time, frozen fish has been frozen within, hours of it coming right out of the ocean. And so it's frozen right away, which actually seals in its freshness. And so you're good to go on that as well if you can't get it, like I've gotten it here. And let me tell you, this is how we store these tuna steaks. They were thawed on ice where I got them at my Harps. But what's important when you are storing your tuna is that you want to store them in their own bags, not touching one another, laying on each other. And then you need to store them in ice. So I have my big, I use this melamine bowl all the time. So I put mine in its own bag, put it on ice, and I've kept it in the refrigerator for just a day or so. You really want to cook it as soon as possible, as quickly as you can, always. But if you do have to store it, that's the way you want to do so. So I'm going to get these off of the ice, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in this little bag, and we're going to make a marinade. Tuna really works the best with a marinade. I'm making one today that's got a little lemon zest, some garlic, and some soy. The soy is the salty flavor that will, kind of salt that up a little bit. But you really do want to marinate this tuna. Now the recipe on our website says that this makes 4 tuna steaks, and it would, but I'm only making 2 for today, so that's what I've got in my bag. It's delicious. If y'all have not ever had tuna steaks, y'all, they are somehow flaky, but still really nice and hearty. Really, really good stuff. You can absolutely substitute this recipe and not do tuna. You could do mahi-mahi, or you could do redfish, whatever tilapia. Tilapia is pretty much in every grocery, especially in the freezer section. It is an easy, real light whitefish that you can make. But in this case, we're doing this tuna. We love the texture. We love how it's flaky and a little bit hearty. I think you're going to like it. So let me remind you, we've talked about this before when we marinated chicken. that because we're putting citrus, like real lemon juice, in our marinade, you don't want to let it marinate much longer than about maybe an hour or two, because that citrus will actually start to kind of cook the meat a little bit. Kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if you would want to let it go too long, because it actually does start to actually kind of cook that meat just the littlest bit. So we're going to just do this for about an hour. I've got my lemon juice. We're going to do a little bit of soy in here, a couple splashes, a little bit of olive oil, and mix this up and put it on our salmon. We're going to stick it in the fridge and let it chill for just about an hour or so. And when we come back, we're going to start on this amazing peach salsa that is going to go with our grilled tuna. Can't wait to show ya. It's good. Beach, like bringing the beach to Northwest Arkansas. This is Cooking Today.
Cooking Today, sponsored by West Rock Coffee Company.
Hi, welcome back to Cooking Today. I am recreating a yummy dish that I made at the beach a couple of weekends ago when we were on vacation. I am making today a blackened salmon. You can do it two ways, and as a matter of fact, our recipe says two different things. So if you want to grill it on the outside grill, then we've given you options to do that. And if you want to do it on the inside, like on a griddle, then you can do that as well. So you've got a couple of options, but we're going to do blackened tuna steaks with a delicious peach and jalapeno salsa. And I'll tell you what's so good about this peach salsa with that blackened steak or tuna steaks is that we're going to coat those tuna fillets, those tuna steaks, in homemade blackening seasoning. The whole recipe is going to be on our website, of course. And it's spicy and it's smoky with some smoked paprika in it. And it's frankly just hot. There's some cayenne. I mean, it's hot. That's what's so fun about things that are blackened, which of course my husband, would eat anything blackened. You would, if we were on a date at a restaurant or just about anywhere and it says blackened anything, he would get it. It's his favorite. But because it's so hot, with all of that seasoning and spice and flavor, this cold peach salsa right on top is perfect. It just cools it down, and it's so sweet compared to that kind of hearty tuna steak and that meat and that salty, smoky, spicy rub that's going to be on the top. And I really love this bite with it. So what I've got are 3 peaches, and they are just ripe, just right. And I love to leave the skins on them. There are vitamins in the skin, there's color in the skin, and I love the flavor. I love that little flavor that's in peach skin. So I'm just going to make it easy on you, and we are putting peaches in there with their skins on. Then what we're going to do to it is add kind of some typical things that go in salsa, like a little red onion, some lime, and we're going to do a jalapeno. And if you've been here very long, you know that I always say that I don't like to handle a jalapeno like a real one, because I always get so nervous about the seeds and, the membranes and all that are so hot. I had a bad experience. I have a little bit of PTSD on my jalapeno experience because I didn't quite know how to handle one the very first time that I used it, and I rubbed my nose. And if you've ever done that, then you feel sorry for me right now, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. I just about died. It hurt. I bet it stung for like 3 days. I had just not been careful with my, with my fingers and my hands. I'm gonna have to get a bigger bowl. But since then I've been practicing so that y'all would be proud and so I could really, really do it. And specifically for this salsa because you have to have a good fresh jalapeno for this. So I'm gonna show you what I've learned. Ready for this? So I've got my jalapeno, and you know what's great about jalapenos and peaches right now, y'all? They are at your farmer's market. They're in season. You can get great produce right now, and you know, you cannot beat Arkansas peaches at this point. And these jalapenos are growing in everyone's gardens, and so they're sharing them with you, and you know, your neighbors are bringing them to your doorstep, and then you can buy them by the tons at your farmer's market. So take advantage of what you can, you know, at your farmer's market. You see my tip? Here we go. I have a Ziploc bag. I looked this up online. It's just such a good idea because this is the hand that's going to be holding on to the jalapeno. And this is the hand I itched my nose with because I'm a lefty. And you know, it killed me. So I put a little Ziploc baggie on my hand. If you buy these at your grocery instead of your farmer's market, it will come in a little bag, you know, the kind you pull off the roll. You can just use that, but it just protects you. Here's where the heat is, in the seeds and in that membrane. And so this is the hand that's holding on to it. So I have got that hand protected and covered as I just take these little membranes right out in the seeds. If you want this hotter than just the flesh, then you can actually put some of the seeds and the membranes in your salsa. I will probably do just a few because we do like a little tiny bit of heat. But you don't want to just go to town and just cut this and put with the membranes and the seeds and everything in it because that would just burn you up. So what we've got in our salsa is our seeded chopped jalapeno, a little bit of lime and some salt, and a little bit of red onion. So easy, and I'm gonna keep working on that. And then when we come back, we're gonna blacken this tuna and finish our salsa. You're gonna love this dish. This is cooking today.
Iced tea, sponsored by Lipton.
Experience the local sounds, sights, and taste of the Fayetteville Farmers Market.
Do you know the producer behind your food?
What about how far away your food was grown?
Local to us means your food is harvested hours before traveling less than 60 miles to our market.
Enjoy music, chef demos, and special events while you shop for locally grown produce, meats, cheeses, flowers, artisan crafts, fine art, and more.
Visit us Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on the square.
The Fayetteville Farmers Market, 100% local and loved.
Hi, welcome back to Cooking Today. I'm making blackened tuna steaks with this beautiful homemade, fresh, kind of chunky peach salsa that's going on top. Blackened tuna. I think I might have said salmon before because we eat so much salmon around here. And it's so accessible and everybody likes it, so I may have said that earlier. Just in case, we're making these beautiful tuna steaks. I've actually gotten those out of the marinade, and I'm just going to let them sit right here for just a minute while I finish telling you a little bit about this salsa. We did the peaches. I cut up about 1/4 cup of red onion, just nice and small, so you just get that good little bite in there. We've done cilantro and lime and a little salt and a little sugar. It is just so fresh and pretty. And because we did a little drizzle of olive oil, a little bit of sugar, we're gonna let that just sit out and kind of camp out right there. And you know, it will just, over time, it just kind of settles and gets so delicious. And get a little bit of that good juice, and that is such a good bite with our tuna, that little juice that's on your plate. So, we're gonna let our peach sit there. We've got our tuna steaks. What I have right here is our blackening seasoning. This is my homemade blackening seasoning. That the base of it, the main flavor, is really smoked paprika. It is delicious. It's a little bit hard to find. You might have to order it online or find it at a specialty store. It's worth it. It's just got this great smoky flavor. There's just all kinds of good stuff in here, some dried thyme and oregano, and you can get this recipe for this blackening seasoning on our website. Or you can always take a shortcut and just buy a shaker of blackening seasoning at your grocery. I sure love making my own because I can dictate the, the flavors. I can put more of one thing in or less of one thing in to make it exactly how I want it, which of course you don't get that luxury if you just buy it at the store. So I am liberally coating the outside of these tuna steaks with our blackening seasoning. And this is important. This is hot stuff, okay? So if you were to do it on both sides, you might be a little sorry. It is really, really hot. As a matter of fact, it's gonna maybe get in my throat and I may have to cough because it's, hot stuff. But I like to just do one side and just pat it in. I also prefer for these to sit like this for just a little bit of time in the blackening seasoning and let that seasoning just kind of settles down and into your meat. So normally I would let those sit, but for the sake of our time, I'm gonna go ahead and put them in our skillet. Let me tell you about our skillet. What I have is my favorite non-stick skillet. It's my Le Creuset 10-inch over here. And I have it swirled with some olive oil. Not enough to really fry it like chicken, but just enough to get a good little, maybe about 1/4 of an inch, just barely covers the bottom. You do not want to overcook your tuna. That is very, very important. If you cannot eat tuna or you don't like to eat meat that is very pink on the inside, then tuna is probably not for you. It should have a really good sear on the outside, and then if you were to cut it, like a cross section of it, it would be cooked on the outside, kind of whitish, grayish, and then as you cut right down into the very nice middle, it would be pink and kind of still opaque, a really, really pretty color. The internal temperature of this should be about 140 degrees. Then you can tin it and keep it warm. You know how we always do that with meat, really. So you really only want to cook these about 1.5 minutes on each side, 2 minutes or so, not too long. I tend to be a little bit scared of the middle. My husband, I would cook his tuna steaks. About 1.5 minutes on each side. My tuna steaks, I'm gonna actually probably cook mine a little bit longer. I'm not mature. How's that? I'm not a mature tuna steak eater, but that's how we're gonna do it. So here's how I put these in my hot oil. I do the blackened side down. My goodness, that blackening seasoning already, y'all, it smells fantastic. So we're just gonna cook these for a few minutes. And then what I like to do is, I'm gonna get my tongs and move that one over a little bit. I don't like the way it's sitting. Oh yes. So I'm gonna let those cook for just a minute or so on each side. And then just before I turn them over, so that we're sure there's a little oil to keep it from sticking, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little drizzle of olive oil right on the top, so that when I flip it on over, it is sure not to stick. I'm gonna flip these, and then when we come back, I'm gonna plate one and cut it and let you see how beautiful these are. This is cooking today. Welcome back to Cooking Today. This is the most beautiful, fresh, healthy meal, y'all. Just reminds me of those beautiful days that we spent with my family on the beach. We've done this great blackened tuna steak. Are these gorgeous or are these gorgeous? Look how they've come off of that skillet. And I already cut a little piece right here, but look at the inside. That is beautiful tuna. Isn't that perfect? Cooked a little bit on the outside, still a little tiny bit pink and translucent. It smells absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna have that bite in just a minute. But first, let's plate this pretty dish. So what I like to do, I've got this pretty tuna steak, a little green on the side, dressed with whatever is your favorite little dressing for nice and fresh. And then here it is, this sweet, tangy, delicious, fresh peach salsa right on the top. And I love, is that gorgeous or what? I love that little bit of liquid that comes right off, little that settles in the bottom. I mean, we just go right around the plate with our fork and eat it right up. Gorgeous. How about that? For a beautiful summertime, easy, healthy nighttime dinner. I hope you will try this at home and love every bite. This is Cooking Today.
Cooking Today, sponsored by West Rock Coffee Company. Kitchenware is provided by Una Mays. Groceries provided by Harps, Hometown Fresh. Online Elements sponsored by Fayetteville Farmers Market.